It is the bewitching hour of 7 o'clock. It is the 14th of April, 2015, and I'm opening the Auburn Planning Board. And would everybody please stand and salute the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And this meeting is being televised and recorded. Is there anybody in the audience recording it? Nope. Okay. We have to say that now for some reason. And we have an A and R.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, and you?
I'm old.
We are getting there.
Well, we can't fix that.
Yeah, we'll fix that. Okay, just for the record, my name is Hussein Haghani-Zadeh from HSNT Group, civil engineers in Worcester, Massachusetts. The address is 75 Hammond Street, Worcester, Massachusetts, and I'm the principal and president of the company, and tonight I'm in front of you regarding 5 Jerome Ave. Apparently we submitted an A&R plan. Mr. Spark submitted the plan, and there were a couple of questions, I guess, and that's why I'm here to answer the questions, if any, and hopefully get the plan signed. And
So
What was the question?
the main concern here is that we're splitting the town line between Worcester and Auburn. So the number one thing here became the street frontage and what is available.
Okay.
We don't want to reduce frontage with this proposal and keep it, and subsequently make it a non-conforming lot. So I spoke with the city of Worcester,
Yep.
in the planning division, and the requirements for frontage in Worcester, there are no minimum frontage requirements.
Okay.
All they require is a 20-foot right-of-way for access
Okay.
in that particular zoning district.
Okay.
So with this proposal, to remove frontage on Jerome Ave does not affect the conforming nature of the lot,
Okay.
and that was my primary concern. So that was verified. Otherwise, the lot is in conformance to the rest of our dimensional standards in the Auburn
Okay.
bylaw.
All right, so what's the pleasure of the,
Mr. Chairman,
yeah. What, Mark?
Mark Mel, Town Meeting Member, Precinct 4. If you do anything to the sidewalk, do you repair it? If you plan to put a building there?
This is simply, through the chair, it's just simply a lot division, so there's no construction as part of this. This is just to divide the lines and do an even swap of land for a boundary line. There's no work scheduled with this.
Can you just show, do you have
Yeah.
one on these?
Sure.
Walk through it quick.
yeah, I can, actually, I have a plan here with me, and basically, as the gentleman said, that we're just subdividing it and just taking a portion of the land in here and then swapping it with the same amount right in here. First of all, as the gentleman said, in City of Worcester, for this zone, there is no requirement, basically zero frontage as long as you have a right-of-way. And we have we have 60 feet of frontage in Worcester, which is more than enough. So we have that. And also, if we really want to get further into it, we have 157 feet of frontage altogether in Worcester, because we own the lot right next to it, with the, by nature of the state law, if the land you own, the abutting land, they go together. So, and also we have 72 feet of frontage in Auburn. So just subdividing that 30 feet in that we have in here, 25 and 30 feet, so it's not going to affect anything in any way. So, that's it. So we should be all set.
Okay.
I agree.
That's the state law, that you need minimum frontage of 20 feet,
Right.
which we have way more than that. We have 60 feet. And then adjacent to it, we have altogether 157 feet of
Okay.
frontage.
So you're just swapping lots?
That's right. Just a portion of the land, just to a square of both lots. That's basically what we do.
All right, this will, of the 55 feet of frontage, which is not applicable to the frontage requirement because of its existence as
Yeah.
utilities tied in through Worcester, 25 feet would be transferred to, swapped with a landlocked parcel of B, contiguous lot from Mr. Sparhawk on Jerome Ave, but the 30 feet of frontage remaining on Jerome Ave is a permanent sewer easement and would not be affected by this design.
No, well, what's,
You have a problem with that?
no, okay, well,
Is there re- What's the reason you just want to screw the lots, huh?
yeah, they're just changing the boundaries of the lots, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Are you gonna do anything with that house? It seems right now in tough shape. Do you have any plans of renovating that, the two-family?
The two-family, yeah,
Right now it's in tough shape, it's
it's
eyesore.
in very tough shape. That's why myself and my partner, my cousin behind me, Mark Sparrow,
I know that.
yeah, we bought it because I owned the building next door. I was getting robbed. Vagrants were going in and out of there. I had everyone from the fire chief to the police and the Board of Health, all from the town. Chris Lund, who was the former building inspector down there, and the woman from the tax department. It's gotta come down. And that's what, the other part of the land, purpose of this land swap, along here,
Okay, show us, yeah,
along here, this is the right-of-way for the pumping station.
yeah,
The town, I believe the town, planted everybody's. They're about 16 or 18 feet high.
Okay.
Beautiful. Right here is a cyclone fence.
Yeah.
In this 25-foot area is a party zone. My tenant has called the police at least 6 or 7 times,
okay,
so I can get rid of this fence, clean it all up, no more trouble in there. That was one of my main
okay,
issues with it, and the gentleman who bought the property in the back just recently is a longtime friend, and he said, Keith, it makes much more sense, I can use this, I'm giving him this, he's giving me that, he gets more use out of it, I get more use out of it. Pretty
Yeah,
simple.
The building, by the way, the building or anything on the property at this particular point in time has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about.
I understand. The gentleman asked the question, I was just,
yeah,
Thank you.
it is an eyesore, and we are gonna take care of it. Just like I did the building that's there. It's-
That would go further.
Correct.
If you decided to construct on that property, you'd have to come back
Correct.
again. And at that point in time, these things can be addressed.
Yep.
I have one more thing. Just a concern, if you put a dumpster in there, don't put it on the sidewalk. Don't block that
they're
sidewalk.
not doing
No.
anything there.
Mark, they're not, They're not gonna do this has nothing to do with that.
Anything.
Okay.
This is just
Just wanna make sure.
border changes. It has
Okay.
nothing to do with this.
All right, what's the plan, what's the, have a...
I'll make a motion to accept the A&R.
Okay,
Second.
a motion's been made and seconded, okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Have a nice day.
Thank you very much for your time, we appreciate it.
Really.
Don't go anywhere yet, guys. I can give you your signed
Yeah, you can
Mylar. Okay. Just need signatures.
James. Oops, I gotta sign another one.
Yes.
Oh, I got a whole bunch of pens. That's another one, James. The last one there. And I hope this silly thing here works.
I have a
Back
thicker one just in case.
Wow.
Is that any good?
Pen that writes things.
Thank you. Yeah, your copy.
Yep.
One of those is for you, and the Mylar is for you.
Okay, now, public hearings, all right?
And once it's recorded, just bring a copy back to us.
Yeah.
And we have it for our records.
Okay.
Thank you very much again.
Sure thing.
Okay, and...
Thank you.
Well,
Have a good night.
okay, yep.
Thank you,
Thanks a lot, gentlemen. Yep, have a good day.
Thank you.
And
Take care.
let's see, we have Welcome Homes is requesting a continuance to 4/28.
Those are both already continued ahead of
They
time.
continued ahead of time, all three of them?
These top two, the third one we couldn't vote to
Okay,
accept or not because you're abstain vote.
okay.
Can't act on that.
All right, so Camden Woods subdivision, acceptance of land,
Yes, so I have some information on this. I
okay.
have to share with the crew.
That's the stuff along the pond there?
Yes. So
Okay.
this-
Excuse Matt,
Yes.
the 310 Washington Street, what about?
They sent us a letter to continue, but we can't really vote to accept it or not since Paul's an abstain vote, so.
We only
just
have
the
two
three of us.
people.
There's nothing we can do with it. But they sent a letter, client's not prepared to move forward with the site plan review at this time. It's taking more time than V&G and the property owner anticipated to review and give consideration to the comments and suggestions that were made by the planning board and public works director and town engineer.
Came before us, what, 3 months ago?
It was some
4
time
months
I
ago?
think it was December.
Why would you come? You were that far off, 4 months off? And what you thought you were gonna do?
Well, they thought they were just gonna go through.
Well, I'm not in
it.
favor of continuing it, but we can't vote. so-
Yeah, okay.
So,
All right, Camden Woods subdivision, acceptance of land,
yeah, so this is the final step of this subdivision.
okay.
I
They
believe
turn-
all,
Are they turning the town over to the land over to the town?
yes, that's part of their
Okay.
proposal. So, one of the things that has been a debate recently is, this is the land off of Camden Drive.
Okay,
Okay, this is the cul-de-sac for Camden Road.
okay,
This proposal initially came to Attorney Hennigan from the client's attorney, Paul O'Brien,
yeah,
and they were hoping to donate the land to the town
Yeah.
to wrap up the last piece of the subdivision.
Yeah.
There's also a detention basin right here.
yeah,
The only thing that we're missing now is there's supposed to be a lot line that divides this right about here.
that's not on here.
Okay. It's not on here in the assessor's records, but I've had them, Cindy's working to update that lot line now.
Okay.
Once that's updated within our records, the planning board has to make a decision whether or not to recommend that the town accept the land or that the applicant keep it in a trust and they keep the land. This land, as a condition
But
of...
it wouldn't
its-
be subdividable, even though
Correct.
it's in the trust.
Right, because this was part of an initial open space residential development special permit. That land has a strict deed restriction on it that it can only be used for open space.
Okay,
How would you get to that piece of property?
There's really no access. All we have here is I think it's 25 or 30 foot wide drainage easement, I'm sorry, because there's a detention pond right here.
yeah,
So...
What if somebody wanted to go fishing?
yeah. Is there a
Right, we
place?
gotta watch that when we accept it. It's gotta have it's gotta have
Gotta have
access.
some kind of access.
Not through somebody's
Right.
yard.
Yeah.
How did that get?
Mr. Kazanovich was expressing the same concern, so why would the town want it if there's nothing we
That's
can do
right.
with it?
That's my
Yeah.
point.
So-
Let them keep it in a private trust.
And not only that, you got insurance liability if somebody gets hurt on the property.
So at some point, I have to advertise this as a formal thing or the
Yeah.
developer.
It's gonna
will
have, my feeling is it's gonna have to stay free. They
Yeah.
can't build on
Yeah.
it. It doesn't have any access.
Yeah.
And it has to
Keep
have,
it.
right, exactly.
You're not supposed to be able to create a landlocked piece of land, and it's, as such, it's kind of what that is.
Right.
They still have to deed over at least a section of this detention basin, according to new subdivision rules, but I don't think they,
You've
otherwise they
gotta
couldn't
make some
maintain it.
kind of a note that when we address any of this open space, that's
Yeah.
gotta, there's gotta be,
Public access.
Because we got the other one next to it too.
This was approved long before our new subdivision rules, so
Right.
I think that kind of how it happened. The only way I could see this being used in the future, there's some sort of canoe kayak route and there was a campsite put there, but I don't see how else this could be
You're right.
used.
Yeah.
You're right.
It could come in from the
The
water
problem is that there's no access,
to the pond.
there's no public access on the other side either.
Is
the
there,
only people that do have access,
on
not
that
the
street that
public.
goes on,
Landowners.
is there access there?
There might be some town-owned
What
land.
street?
The one that
I don't
goes,
think there is.
the one
have
that goes
one-
straight down, what's the name of that street? I thought there was access,
Off Old Common?
no, the other side. Where?
Riverside?
Not- Riverside, is that Riverside?
Right here is Riverside, yes.
I don't know if it's there or further up.
St. Mark Street is here.
No, it's not on St. Mark Street, on Riverside. We're somewhere around where that lot A is.
Oakland Drive.
Yeah.
and Riverside Drive.
Well, they connect.
They're a
Oakland
big
Drive connects.
circle.
Right.
There's no other streets that go perpendicular to the pond
No.
except Camden Road.
I can look into it to see if there's any other town-owned land
Yeah.
or something like that, but it doesn't seem that way. The only one I could see is on the other side of Route 20 and that's
Just on the
town land right
bridge,
here.
right, there's about a 10-foot town piece of property, but there's no parking there. You can't access it, really.
See, that's not, but this,
That one there?
that's pretty much it, but you couldn't get on the other side because there's a waterfall and it,
Yeah.
That's right.
wouldn't happen. Oh, it's not even town, it's New England Power, so.
Well,
But anyway,
Anyway, yeah, we just
right.
wanted to bring that to the board's attention.
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay, now, peer review services, we're gonna go away from that single peer review service and
Right.
let them pick from 3.
Exactly. So we have a new subdivision proposal that will be on our next hearing agenda. It's for Prospect Street. It's a 14, I think it's a 14 lot subdivision submitted by Emerson Homes and
On
John,
Stillmark?
yes.
And where is it?
Off Prospect Street, across from Booth
it's where,
Road.
it's where La Chance's property was.
I think that's right. Yes.
Is that, and how many in there?
I think it's 12.
There's a lot of land.
There is a great
Is
deal
that,
of
that's the
land.
one, not the one that's on the corner?
Yes, it is.
It would wrap that corner on the
Okay.
inside.
Because I-
Between Prospect and Appleton.
Okay, oh, Prospect
back
and
of all-
Appleton.
In
Oh,
back of the
okay.
house, any houses that are on
Further down, yeah,
Prospect
okay.
on the right to the west, and anything to the east of the houses in the backside of Appleton.
Because they're doing what, 3 or 4 across from Kelly Street there?
Yeah, those are A&R lots.
Okay,
And they're not part of this subdivision, but
Okay.
they are
But they're,
a
John,
piece of
too.
it, kind of.
okay,
Alright.
all right,
So it's this lot here.
That's
Prospect
Stillmark's
Street
property,
comes
so-
in,
okay.
has the sharp turn.
Yeah,
It's this lot here.
okay.
We have a road and a
All right, and
cul-de-sac.
so what they were working on is that little doodle-diddly.
And then there were a couple
So now
A&R
they're
lots
working
in
on a
front.
bigger doodle.
Right. So that's coming before, but the applicant has requested peer review from an engineer we had, Quinn Engineering. We had used in the past, it's not someone we've used regularly.
Yeah,
So
What are
I.
you saying, we're letting the applicant?
No, they just asked.
Oh.
So if that happens, I still have to send it out to 3 people for bid and make a decision, so.
And
the way-
they are Quinn,
Quinn out of Paxton.
Quinn Graves
Engineering.
and there was another.
Quinn Graves and VHB.
Yeah,
who was just
right here.
okay.
Yeah.
It was.
Well,
Oh,
the
that was
way that
that was
came in-
HST group.
The way that came into effect
Right.
is, Jem came in here,
Paul Jones.
and he noticed that the peer review from one company, which I won't mention the name, was something like double of what the other companies were. And he said, why should he have to pay double for the same work? So at that particular point in time, the board said, well, you really didn't, and we gave him dispensation
Yeah.
to use.
Yep.
You remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
I was reading into that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's how I found out about Quinn.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
All right, so that's good.
all right, so I sent the plans and the drainage reports to those 3
3
companies.
companies? Okay,
And
great.
and you'll get proposals back, and
Yeah.
then if
Give 'em to
Quinn
the-
is within the reason, and he asked that he could use them,
Well, he doesn't have to take the lowest one, he can take any one of the 3, right?
It's really up to, well, it's up to me.
Huh, it's up to you?
Yeah, and I would kind of seek your discretion, so.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, you're giving them 3 reputable companies, so it wouldn't make any difference anyway, you can take, you know.
If the board's okay with all 3 of those companies.
We
then
just didn't want somebody to have to pay twice as much.
For something else.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
It's like a shot across the high man's bow stating that you can't be that far off.
Right. If the company they want comes in with a higher rate, they may be inclined to want someone else, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna be the case, and I think they'll be happy with the price that comes.
Okay, well, that solves one problem we've had. We're solving a lot of problems.
Yeah. What do we
Okay,
got?
So, associate members for the planning board.
okay, we read that, so,
Yeah, so that was something in Mass General Law that I was able to locate.
yep,
That was rather interesting for our
yep,
discussion. So, that only pertains to special permits.
that's all
Okay,
right,
so if we were to have an associate member, that's the only sort of thing they could act
but
on.
that's all right. Because that's the only place you have trouble, usually.
Well, subdivision and site plan approval, they wouldn't be allowed to vote.
Okay,
Matt, where was that in the folder?
Yes, it's just the print that I did, Mass General Law. You can have mine if you want.
I don't have it.
Here you go.
there it is.
It's only when we're the special permit granting authority.
Yep.
So anything in the, say, regional mall district,
Yep,
those require special permits.
Okay,
multiple business and such. So I think I'm gonna relay this info to the town manager and
Yeah,
see if we
okay,
can get
good.
some
Yeah.
appointed alternates.
Yeah.
And Mr. Arthur and I spoke about kind of the rule of necessity and how it's possible if even I were to be appointed as an associate. I spoke about that, and I think that's a kind of a large conflict of interest for most things. I don't think I can. But in the
It was a suggestion because you were
Yeah.
here all the
Right.
time. We wouldn't have to worry about that
right.
other party not being able to attend, even though he or she was appointed as an associate. And you're only one of 4 votes.
Right. What would come before, if there was a reason for me to vote, there would have to be some abstained members as part of an existing hearing.
Right.
With a time-sensitive nature.
Right.
So say it was set to expire,
right.
the abstained members would have the opportunity to vote before I would. That's the only time that would apply.
Well, that's a Mulligan rule, isn't it?
The Mullen rule.
I call it the Mulligan rule.
The Mullen rule is a little different. That's only when you're absent, you have a chance to review minutes and video for a chance to vote.
The only question I had, and I thought I mentioned it with the Board of Appeals too, was if there was if there's 4 members here and we're doing special permit, we don't need an alternate. And the vote
Right.
of those 4 has to be accepted.
Unanimous.
They then can't bring in an alternate to circumvent the vote that was taken
No, no,
prior
That's
to
right.
that.
That's right.
That could.
That's right, that's accurate. So any abstained member, if in the instance of rule necessity, would have to lay aside their personal differences, disclose it to the public, and cast a reason for a neutral vote, so to speak, before I would have any time to make action, so.
Yep,
Some issues are just that you're in a butter,
yeah.
No, right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Which is nothing personal, you're just in a butter, so you can't do it. What else we got?
And I have one other thing.
The last thing is,
So the Worcester Registry of Deeds has this annual
yeah,
form that asks for the members' names, signatures, election and appointment dates, and then expirations.
yeah, the town clerk has that information.
I could dig up the information if I could just have you guys sign them.
Yeah,
So,
but she sent it out a while back.
right. I got this just recently, so.
We're not signing package hug, taking another.
Yes, that is next. And we have that in minutes and then we're out of here. So make sure we're signing the next one. Okay,
So we did this last year, I remember that.
All right, so there's signatures in both spots,
Okay.
members and as it applies to A&Rs.
Print, okay.
Say print and then sign. And I'll fill out the terms.
We all gonna do it on the same page?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I'll do the rest of it.
okay.
I just need you to sign the next one too down.
Sign down here too.
Yeah, because one of them's for A&Rs. Which, by the way, for A&Rs, you guys don't actually have to vote, even though we did. Just because it's a approval not required.
Okay, well, we approve them anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't matter at that point. Because there's really no way to deny it unless it's designed poorly. You just ask them to revise it.
All right, then we gotta sign
Yes,
the other thing.
this one.
All right,
Did you read the conditions?
yeah,
Did you see anything
no,
that really jumped?
okay,
The things I went over with the town engineer were
Okay.
construction standards, but those were mentioned at our meeting.
yeah. Matt's putting together a list of things, you know the ones that we say, the ordinary things that we do. He's gonna put a list together so that we have a list, and that
Right,
they have a
just-
list.
And that's put right on it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's automatic plus
Yeah.
any others.
So
Yeah.
when we vote, we say standard conditions plus
Standard
anything
conditions,
else.
this would be the standard conditions.
Correct.
Unless we waive something.
So the only ones that were really new here, I guess, were the ones that pertain to the development itself.
Yeah.
The keeping of the 12-inch trees
Yeah,
and such, and the construction stuff with the
No date.
roads.
there you go, John.
That's it.
I don't know.
No, he doesn't sign this one.
Oh, he can't.
Right,
Ronnie can.
Ronnie can't, yeah. Then you'll have to get the other signatures.
correct.
And
We have minutes,
then we have
They
minutes,
did it.
but we can't vote on it because,
because we don't have enough people.
correct.
Okay, so we'll postpone the minutes until the next meeting. Okay. No
Matt, I
corres-
did mine in the reverse.
Okay, no No correspondence? Okay.
Missed one, right in the middle on the top.
So we can put all of this into the recycle bin.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, and there's nothing else to come before us except adjournment.
Thank you. Minutes? Can't vote on them because Jim wasn't here, so that's pretty much it.
That's it.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Motion's been made and second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.